What's up, guys? It's Light Spiral making a Sigmarus, the Water Pheonix review video. So I'm making this video mainly because on the video where I reviewed the Fire Serpent, I had someone ask me if I could make a review of Sigmarus, the Water Pheonix. And okay, so basically the first things to say about him is he's a natural 5-star that you can obtain through fusion, so he's completely farmable, and I personally think he's very good. He's a nuker, and he has an AoE skill as well as single target skills, and I definitely think he's worth fusing, and I'll go into it more in now, I guess. So these are the stats that I have on him. The HP I'm not really focused on. And the attack is pretty decent. That's like a little over 2,000 attack. I don't actually know for sure. Or it's closer to 2,200, I guess. The defense I don't really care about. The speed is at like, what is that? It's like 140. I don't know. It's close. It's under 100. It's somewhere in between 150 and 140. It's like 143 or something. The crit rate's 83, which is fine, and crit damage 138. I would like it higher, but I have my best attack runes on a different monster. I have it on the Lucian. Resistance I don't care about. Accuracy is nice, but I don't really care about it that much. I'll just go over its skills. Its first skill attacks one target, and if it's max skilled, will have a 48% chance to stun, and it's 18 if it's not max skilled. The second skill attacks one enemy, and it'll freeze the enemy for one turn if you crit. And the third skill attacks all enemies and deals damage based on their max HP and decreases their attack power for 2 turns. So this can hit really hard. On the Hall of Water boss, I've seen this hit up to 300k before. My Sigmarus. When you awaken it, it goes into crit rate. And the runes I have on it, just to show you, is these. I have speed, crit damage, attack on Fatal Blade. Violent Blade would be a better build if you can get violent runes that are good. And I just have speed on slot 2 because I wanted him to be faster so he can be more efficient in dungeons, even though I don't necessarily, well, I still use him in dragons, I guess. And his leader skill is 44% HP in dungeons. So his uses is pretty much everything except PvP. He's not the best in. I'll just show you a run with him in dragons, and this is a team that I would use with Sigmarus in it. It's about a 3-minute clear, and it's 100% success rate to my knowledge with my current units. And so going into his uses, for his uses you can use him in giants, B10, or any of the giants. You can use him in dragons. I don't recommend him for Necro. Magic B10, Fire B10, Water B10, not Light B10, and Dark B10. So out of the dungeons, the only ones I don't recommend him for is Wind B10, Light B10, and Necropolis B10. In TOA, he's very useful. I had my first ever TOA 100 clear with Sigmarus in the team because it's really useful to have a damage dealer in TOA, especially one that does a stun and a freeze on its first 2 skills. So that helps a lot with crowd control in TOA. And then in Arena, he can be used, but there is much better options than Sigmarus in PvP. Just because there's units that deal a lot more damage than him, and there's units with much better AoEs than him. So, in terms of building him as like one of your first 6-stars or your first 6-star nuker, I actually would recommend it because he'll be good in PvP, just not like high. Like he's not gonna get you out of into Conqueror. Like you can get into Fighter 3 with Sigmarus, but not really into Conquerors, or you can't do well in Conqueror, at least from my experience with Sigmarus as your nuker. And so I guess basically I'll kind of say what's it called, what situations you would need him in, like if you're considering fusing him, because the Nat 5s take forever to fuse. So basically, if you're wanting to fuse him. First of all, if you're wanting to fuse him for PvP, I don't recommend it. If you want to fuse him for Dragons B10 is what I see as his main use, is Dragons B10, and TOA is also very helpful in. So a lot of the main thing people are going to want to compare is, should I build Sigmarus or Pheonix first? And the simple answer, in my opinion, is if you're trying to do arena or guild battles, build the Pheonix. If you're trying to do any dungeons or TOA, build the Sigmarus, because he's going to help you out a ton in dungeons and TOA. And Pheonix will help out too, but not as much as Sigmarus. And so, basically, if you have a Giants or Dragons B10 team without any damage dealers and you want to increase the speed of the run, I would definitely recommend building Sigmarus. Units would make it so you